I think the standout for me was me standing up for myself and going, wow, I learned that from doing that program. And wow, I can say this now and do more of what I want to do because of that program, Garth's program. 100%. It's like a freedom for choice, and that gives you power. The learning of how to process everyday life, it comes up every single day. What I've learned over the last 12 months has come up every single day. And like, we talk about it all the time. It's like the challenge of life and how you process it. And the way you process it, it becomes so much easier when you know where you're at. And you take responsibility, you take accountability, you say, right, I've got the power to change the direction of what can be great or what can be not much at all. Yeah. And it's like working with all those changes too, is just like processing that without forcing it as well. So you got that freedom to say, right, well, you can't change the weather, you can't change nature, whatever. So when you work with that and apply that to everyday things that happen in your life, you can accept more, but you also have that, what you've given me also as well as that knowledge to be able to stand back and look and process things from every single angle. You can see where other people are coming from, you can see where you're at, and you can, like, working together and do that dance to make things happen.
I stopped living my past so much and stopped living my future and got really into my present moment now. And yeah, like, just forgot about my past, man. It's there, you know, like, if I did something wrong, it's all good, you know, like, we're humans, we do mistakes, and we can learn from them, but we can also learn in different ways. And when I start bringing my whole existence to the present moment right now, because you can really exist in the past, you know, you can just hold those feelings and being there and not letting it go, and you know, and also like, you get really lost in what you want to live in the future, you know, like, I live for that purpose, you know, I live for changing the world, and you just forget where you are.
How did you find it where, you know, the program that's not a program, one that doesn't have step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's in just the evolving life rather than more expression of those lessons? How was that journey for you with that?
It felt more real. That's how life is, isn't it? You know, like, life is not like a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Life is really like this journey, and that we as humans, we get to experience in so many different ways. And yeah, like getting to live this program, and live the program without a structure, allowing you as well to do your things and be a human as well, and not being committed to like any structures, just felt more true and more life aligned, you know, like, we don't need to have structures sometimes to get a good result. And when you have too much of a structure and the structure don't go as planned, that brings frustration, that brings disappointment and all these things. And seeing how you navigated that in your human way, because this is about being human. It's not about being a machine, you know. And humans, sometimes they wake up not feeling the best, you know, and then the structure doesn't make sense, you know, like, because when you create a structure for something, you're considering that you're gonna be able to follow the structures, you know, and you're trusting that that will work in that way, and it's just not like that, man. And I felt that like the program, the way it unfolded, you know, like with our limitations as well, because sometimes, I don't know, it could be my car not starting, you know, to come in the morning, and it really happens, you know. But yeah, I didn't have to be there. I didn't have homework, you know. I didn't have like, I wanted to be there for myself, and that's the whole difference. If I was there, I wanted to be there.
Hi, my name is Maya Hanna, and I worked with Mr. Garth Brewin one-on-one for a few months last year. I first met Garth the year before, where we were both facilitating at a retreat, and was struck by his heartfulness and sincere ability to speak to people exactly where they're at. And we formed a friendship. And then almost a year later, I was going through a challenging time. A big grief portal had opened up in my life, and I woke up with his face, and his face had popped in as the perfect person to guide me through this challenging period, this period where I was being invited to expand myself and open into my heart and soften. And he really struck me as the heart wisdom person, the person that I would really trust to guide me to keep my heart open during this invitation to expand. And I'm writing this or recording this testimonial completely unbidden by him, but purely because I was so moved by our time working together. His capacity to listen and hold and pick up on nuances of the story that's being told was so powerful and so exactly what I needed in that moment. And it really allowed me to keep my heart open when there was a pattern of wanting to close myself down because of the challenge. So if you are looking for a heart shaman, someone who really holds deep heart wisdom and a great capacity to guide and facilitate you through your own jungles and personal challenges and invitations, I so highly recommend working with him. He is a magnificent creature and a wise teacher. I believe that all the best teachers are always guiding you back to your own wisdom, your own medicine, and he's so acutely aware of that and attuned to the subtleties. He's a really wonderful coach, teacher, guide, and I highly recommend working with him to stay in your heart and allow life in to its fullness. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Garth.